Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody.
Oh, can I step on your toe?
Did that hurt?
I'm broken, Jason.
Hi, everybody. Look at Friday. That's Friday, everybody. Happy weekend. I got to. Welcome. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Have a seat. Let's get started. We are very excited. It's going to be a good show today. Have a seat. Let's get started. Okay. I think they think they're getting a vacation or something. You know what I mean? We're going to try. Ladies and gentlemen, save a little bit of that love for my sister from another mister. It's Kendall, everybody. Hello. So we always do this thing. You see, I come out, I hug Kendall, we whisper something to each other. And as you know, or may not know, Kendall had knee surgery. Yesterday was her first day back. And yeah, she's recovering. So what do I do on your second day back?
Just stepped on my other toe. It's
yeah,
fine.
I'm sorry, yeah.
It didn't hurt. It was just your reaction was hilarious.
I felt awful because I literally have tugboats. I wear size 13. I have giant feet. I would be a size 12, but an associate at Schuler Shoes told me in 2006, he looks at me and he goes, "That's a really big toe." And he said, I would be a size 12 if it wasn't for my big toe.
It's the ogre toe.
It is a big toe. Right there. That's how big it's. It's a giant big toe. Yeah. So.
It could come in handy someday.
There we go. There we go. Those are my shoes. Yeah, anyway.
You never know. It could come in handy. Like big toe contest, get you out of a wormhole. I don't know. Could do things.
Well, here's hoping. Yeah. Happy. How you doing though? You doing well?
I'm good. How is my hair taste? Because
I know.
Was the other
I
funny
stepped on her toe and then I got a mouthful of her hair in my. We are a mess today. We're a mess.
Coordinated.
Yeah, I know. Well, we are kind of coordinated today because it's Gophers weekend, everybody. That's right. Okay. Now this is how much my executive producer hates me, because as I'm saying that, he whispers to our producer Ted. He goes, "Jason doesn't even know who they're playing." That's right.
Do you know who they're playing? Ted, do not get involved. Do you know
who are they playing?
Penn State.
Oh. They're playing what?
Penn State.
Penn State. Penn State.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
It's like the oil.
Okay,
That's Pennzoil, but yeah,
yes.
Penn State. Penn State, and they're number 4 in the country, right? They're
Penn State.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, good
They're
job.
number 4, and we are 8-0.
Yes, but we are also ranked. We're number 17.
I don't know what ranked means. You've lost me.
This is important. I mean,
Here's what I know about the Gophers. I know there's a gopher. I know that they're maroon and gold because I'm wearing this today. Yeah, right there. I know. Oh, right there. Hey, buddy, yeah. That's my co-host for today, right there. There it is, right there, yeah. I know about PJ Fleck. You know what I mean? Who doesn't?
Yep. Big contract.
Can we just acknowledge? I don't think that guy has an ounce of body fat on him.
No.
Has he ever eaten a tater tot? You know what I mean? He's the fittest man I've ever seen.
He and his wife, they're a very attractive couple.
Oh, yeah, they ain't ugly. I mean, no, I know. Anyway.
It's a big game, Jason, yes.
It is a big game, and my boss, I've worked for this woman for 22 years. When I tell the audience stories afterwards, her name is Marion Mim Davey, and I've worked with her. She hired me for my first job in television in '97. She only hired me because I made her laugh because I told her stories about working at Red Lobster. And so Marion Mim Davey is the biggest Gophers fan Ever. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this suit is called my boss suck-up suit. That's right, yes. That's right, yeah.
Looks good.
Hello, brownie points. That's right. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. I won't get yelled at today. That's right. The hour's early, though, so yeah. Mm-hmm. First up, pour one out for the reboot of 90210. Our network has seen enough. And, oh, wow, I like the way that was written. Fox is done, yeah. They didn't renew it for another season. The reboot was picked up for 6 episodes this summer. And as you guys know, starred the original cast members, Jenny Garth, Tori, Shannon, Ian, Jason, Gabrielle. The show featured the original stars playing heightened versions of themselves that had all sorts of issues. 13 writers reportedly quit throughout its run. And keep in mind, the show was on for like 42 minutes. Ratings fell off a cliff after the premiere episodes. It just kept going down and down. How bad is a show when 13 people quit within they only did 8 episodes?
I don't know, but like I still don't really know what heightened selves version of yourself. Like, am I extra diva then? Like, I don't get what that means.
No. Well, yeah. And I'm extra
yeah.
a lot
diva.
of things. But yeah.
Just extra.
Yeah. Extra diva. That's fine. I'll take it. Don't worry. #know thyself. I get it. Yeah. But no, here's the problem, and executive producer Jeff's going to laugh at me because it's one of the phrases I say a lot. It's one of my a TV executive once said the best concepts are simple concepts, and he always uses the example of Wheel of Fortune. What's Wheel of Fortune? It's hangman with a wheel. You can explain it to anybody. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I had to think about that. Okay. Well, I mean, I just the like draw and then the wheel and the
anyway, so. Wendy Williams is next, everybody. Show's over. I love you. God, I missed you. I missed you so much. Anyway, so that's the problem with 90210. Nobody understood it. You couldn't easily explain it to Betty from Anoka. You know what I mean?
Poor Betty.
Poor Betty.
Poor me. I still don't get it either.
It's all right. It's gone now. Next in the dish. Jimmy Fallon hosted his show last night from the University of Texas, and he welcomed one of Texas's most famous couples on the show, Chip and Joanna Gaines. I mixed Chip and Joanna together, and they talked about their biggest project to date. Look at this.
It's not like a show. You're starting your own network next October, so less than a year out.
Yeah. Sure.
Are you ready?
Oh my gosh. Remember last year when he prematurely announced that we were having a network, and then Jimmy pulled us aside when we were done and said, hey, are you serious? That's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, it's going to be so much fun. And you're like, it's a lot of work. And now we're like, you were right. It's a lot of work.
I told you.
But we're knee deep in it right now. And I think what we love is just the idea of just finding amazing stories, people who are passionate about what they do, whether it's cooking, design, business. So we're excited. This is a lot of fun and a lot of work.
A lot of work and a lot of fun. I'm going to say it again. Are there any more houses in Waco that needs to be fixed? That's the problem. How many more houses are there to fix? There was an interesting article, though, that the town isn't always real thrilled because it's hard to sell those houses because people want so much money for them. So when you move out of a Chip and Joanna house, it's hard to sell it because people are like, oh, it's a Chip and Joanna house. I'll ask $7 million for it. Hello, you're still in Waco, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, don't they know that old saying, like, there's like a saying about this, how you never want to be the most expensive house on the block,
Yes.
right? For resale value, and these guys flip these houses and they're like, you can get it for $40,000. Like, where are these houses?
I know.
Like, that's all I gotta say.
Jimmy also attended class with the University of Texas's most famous and newest and most famous faculty member, Matthew McConaughey. This is not a joke. Matthew teaches film classes there. Yeah, okay, yeah, who knew, yeah.
I
Hey,
that.
I would take that class. I absolutely would.
Duh.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't
Again-
even need to like know anything. Just,
Again, hashtag not ugly. No, yeah.
All right.
That's right. PJ Fleck, Matthew McConaughey.
Hello.
Yeah. Next in the dish, Steve Carell visited Ellen yesterday and played her game, Burning Questions. And he was as awkward as ever. Look at this.
What's your best beauty tip?
Pluck. No questions.
Pluck.
Don't ask.
I won't. 3 words that best describe you.
Here's Steve Carell.
What is something you do that embarrasses your kids?
Doghead.
Do you have a favorite child?
Yes.
You're invited to a dinner party. What do you bring?
Dip.
What kind?
Veggie. With ridged potato chips. Almost said the product name.
Then you could get a commercial for Super Bowl again. Like,
Ruffles.
Watch. He's going to get a Ruffles ad for the Super Bowl. You know he's going to. Steve Carell is in the morning show on Apple TV Plus. And critics didn't like it. I have now watched all of the current episodes. There's 3 of them. I'm going to say I like it even more now than I did after the pilot. It's really good.
I do want to watch it.
You'll love it.
I want to watch it.
It's so good, everybody. You can find it on Apple TV Plus, and you can find us when we return. Back after this. Coming up, more hot dish right out of the oven. Grab the kids. The cast of Frozen 2 hits late night with a preview. Then you loved him on the Gilmore Girls. And you loved him in Guardians of the Galaxy. Sean Gunn is our special guest this hour, and he'll be live in our studio. And everybody goes to thrift stores, but how do you find the best fashion at a thrift store? We have an expert to show you the way. It's Friday, we're celebrating, so get another cup of coffee and meet me back here in just a minute.
Surprise to about 2 of you. But before I got my show on NBC, I got my start uploading videos on YouTube. Give it up for YouTube one time. That's right. And in the last decade, I've gained about 15 million subscribers on my channel. It's casual. Honestly, I didn't plan to be a YouTuber. YouTube wasn't a thing you did to get famous. Back in the day, you had to do it the old-fashioned way. Be born into a famous family and make a sex tape in order to be a star. But these days, kids don't want to grow up to be actors, athletes, or pop stars. Nah. Every kid wants to be a YouTuber. And who can blame them? Being a YouTuber is awesome. I can't wait to see the graduate programs that grow out of this. Just like, I majored in makeup tutorials with a minor in ASMR. And then by the time I did my dissertation, I narrowed it down to growing to grocery stores to lick ice cream containers.
Oh, well, truth through comedy. Sincerely, I think it was not this show or the radio show. I think a family member of Alexis said, hey, talking to the kid, hey, what do you want to do? And he said, I want to be a YouTube star. Like back in the day, I'd watch Johnny or Oprah and be like, I want to be like that. Now, that's the
They
world.
want to be YouTubers.
Yeah. So, and by the way, thanks to all of you that watch us here on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Yeah. But it's the truth. Yep. That's a little clip from A Little Late with Lilly Singh. She's great. More late night. The cast of Frozen 2, get the kids around, visited Kimmel last night, and Kristen Bell talked about whether or not she kept the top secret plot a top secret. Look at this.
Have you told your kids, any of you, what happens? Because it is it's a secret. And Sterling K. Brown was here the other night. He wouldn't even tell me if he sings in it.
I told my kids all of it.
You did?
Yeah, in an attempt to do what Adina's doing, which is you just so badly want your kids to think you're cool. And I say that to them all the time. I'm like, you don't get it. I'm literally a cool mom. You don't understand how cool I am. And they want nothing to do with it. So when we first read the script like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I came home and I was like, okay, here's how it goes down. And I told them everything, and I told them, just keep it a secret. Then it occurred to me, kids are bad secret keepers.
Yes.
And I'm in breach of my contract.
Yeah.
So I am 2 weeks out from these heart palpitations going away that Disney won't sue me.
Oh,
I've
really?
got 2 more weeks.
Sorta, kinda, not a joke. Mickey will sue ya, believe me. She ain't kidding. No, just ask Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, he didn't get sued, but he was pulled into a meeting. Yeah, because Mark was really bad spilling Avengers rumors.
Oh, with his Hulk stuff.
Yeah. I love Mark. Frozen 2 doesn't come out for 2 weeks, but already the movie is breaking records for advanced ticket sales. Do you like Frozen fan?
Can I just tell you something?
So you please. We have 40 more minutes. Yes.
Okay. So I went to Frozen with my sister,
Yeah.
and we held hands and cried for the first 10 minutes. I know, it was so pathetic and but it was so. I mean, we grew up watching Disney movies.
I get
and
it.
It was the first time I would say since Pocahontas, Mulan, that the music was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. Stop laughing at me.
No. For once, I'm not.
Are you laughing
I am going to see your embarrassing Frozen story and raise it a little bit because I've done something more embarrassing when it comes to Frozen. So the world knows that I'm at Walt Disney World every other weekend. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite rides as a 45-year-old man is the Frozen ride at Epcot. But I only ride it after 1.5 cocktails because then the animatronics in that ride, I should show video on Monday. If you've never been, the animatronics on that ride, it looks like Elsa's in front of you singing. And there's a part, you're in this boat, and there's this part where it crescendos and Elsa goes like this, let it go, and the boat moves backwards. I cry every single time, yeah. Again, 1.5 cocktails. That's it, yeah. And then
I think you would do it without the cocktails.
No, I've tried it. It doesn't work. Yeah. Next in the dish, we now know who will play Walter Cronkite in this is cool. This is awesome. In an upcoming movie about the assassination of JFK. Producers say Chris Pine will play the iconic broadcaster. Yeah, in the movie, it's going to be called Newsflash. You may know Chris from Wonder Woman. He was young Captain Kirk in the rebooted Star Trek franchise. The film takes place on November 22nd, 1963. Many say that day was a pivotal moment. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. And Walter's rise to becoming called the most trusted man in America. Production for Newsflash expected to begin in February. Interesting choice because I don't think he even looks like a young Walter. It's an odd choice. I love Chris Pine, but I'm curious.
I'm trying to think if it's his voice, but I can't. When you're listening to a song and you can't think of another song? I'm talking to you, so I can't think of how his voice sounds.
It doesn't sound like Walter Cronkite, let me tell you. Yeah. No, that's not a dig on Chris. Chris is a nice guy, but I mean, it's just a weird choice. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's a hubba bubba bunk of lovin', so it's totally fine.
I'm not. Okay, this is one of those things where I'm not, dropping a name. But I've been very lucky to interview him in person 3 times.
Did you touch him?
What?
Did you touch him?
What did I just?
Well, I don't know.
He's not a watermelon.
I'd be like, oh, ha, and curl up.
I didn't touch. No. I didn't touch him. But I mean, he smelled really good. People always want to know that. Yeah. He was very, very nice. I interviewed him for both 2 Star Treks and then Wonder Woman.
Okay, so when you look at him, are you kind of like,
Well, yeah, my point of telling you that I met him is he is better looking in person if that's possible.
Oh, I knew it! Oh, he's so pretty.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Can I ask you a question? Can you give me a list of all the pain meds you're on? I just say, I want a full. Is there there a medical professional in our audience today? Is anybody? And can you quickly make sure she's okay? It's a big weekend in St. Paul thanks to Fox 9's annual Girls Science and Technology event. Here's a transition. It's happening tomorrow at the Science Museum of Minnesota, and Fox 9 meteorologist and birthday boy Cody Matz is there live with a preview. First, congratulations. Second, happy birthday. And third, hello.
Thank you. Hello, and you needed a doctor, but how about a scientist?
Perfect.
Does that
I'll
work
take
for
it.
you?
Yes, I'll take that. Yes.
Okay. It's kind of a midway between. It's not. It has nothing to do with doctoring. I'm not even going to pretend that it does. But obviously, I'm at the Science Museum. There's lots of folks around here, and we have a fun event, the Girls Science and Technology event, coming up tomorrow. It's basically from 10 to 4, and to talk more about it is Karen Fostervold. I think I got it. I don't think I did. She told me like 8 times, and I still didn't get it. You're marketing for the Science Museum of Minnesota. Good morning, first off.
Good morning to you.
It's well, crazy as you would expect in the Science Museum, and it's going to be even crazier tomorrow. Tell us more about tomorrow's event.
Well, it'll be very lively, and but it will be a very inspiring, wonderful celebration of women in science. And so Girls Science and Technology is one of those events that you just have to be a part of. Yeah, we'll have live demonstrations that are led by women and men from many different companies across the Twin Cities. We'll have, for the first time, Kate the chemist, who's a nationally known professor and a wonderful example of a woman who really brings science to life. She has a very theatrical approach to her teaching, so I think our visitors will love that. Yeah, and then also visitors will get a chance to meet and talk to their favorite Fox 9 personalities. So.
We don't have any of those people around here. Who are these people? No, there's no favorite of these people around here. Who would think such a thing? Yeah, scientists of all types, scientists of all kind. What the best part about this is that I've obviously atmospheric scientist, but there's chemistry, biology, physics. There's so many things to learn out here, and science is just continuing to grow.
Exactly, and that's what we want young girls to think about. How can they get into these careers someday? By getting them, exposed to all these science topics. And so they feel comfortable when they're going into that university level. They really feel comfortable in getting into those majors in science, technology, and engineering.
Yeah, and the best part about parents, and don't get me wrong, parents are going to have a good time too, but it can be a long day. And so I wanted to thank you very much. I'm going to point over here, and I'm going to give parents a spot where they could go to relax a little bit. Follow me over here. Lots of folks here at the Science Museum, and I'm going to need a couple of helpers. Hi, what's your name?
Anna.
Hi, Anna. Can I get you too? What's your name?
Hi, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? Okay, I'm going to have one of you hold this, and the other one hold this. And this is the old-timey massage chair. Hello, how are you? And so parents can come here and get a free massage while they're being surrounded by kids. Back to you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Wow. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Fox 9's Girls Science and Technology is happening all day tomorrow at the Science Museum in Minnesota and St. Paul. Text SCIENCE to 25899 to get 4 free child admissions with a paid adult. And for you Jason Show family members, you will see our very own Aaron Schwaberini at the Girls Science and Technology. And Kendall will be there as well. Still ahead, he starred in superhero movies, but you may also recognize our special guest today from the mega popular Gilmore Girls. Sean Gunn is joining us live when we come back after this. Y'all watch Gilmore Girls or something, that's right. 25,000 people, 25,000 are expected at the Minneapolis Convention Center this weekend for the first ever GalaxyCon, bringing together some of your favorite superheroes and stars to Minneapolis. Here to talk about GalaxyCon from Guardians of the Galaxy and Gilmore Girls, Sean Gunn, everybody. Okay.
Hello. Great crowd.
The crew is going to laugh because they know what I'm going to say. I'm going to start with this. We always joke here on the show. We've had every type of star, singer, whatever, Academy Award winner, whatever. I can always tell how beloved a person is by how many staff members from other departments come down like feeding birds down to our level where we do the show.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? You have amassed hysteria out in our building. Women from departments I didn't even know we had here are here freaking out. They're like, no, you're going to do a satellite interview, right? And I go, no, he's physically in. They're lining up. We won't let them in. I mean, yeah.
I was pecked over by your birds backstage.
I bet you were. Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't expect a gasp. I'm speaking metaphorically, everybody.
Yeah.
No, it was great. There's something about the cult of Kirk, I guess.
Yeah.
That people enjoy.
Let's start there. I'm always fascinated by what happens on the outside of the actual work. And what I mean by that is you do Gilmore Girls, you do a season, you're so busy doing 12, 14-hour days. When did it hit you that the show had hit and it was bigger than you expected it to be? Were you at a mall? Were you at a burger place? I mean, what?
I think I just, at some point in the process, when I started Gilmore Girls, I didn't know that I was going to be on the show for 7 years. I thought I was doing one and done, and then I was going to come back and do a couple more. And for the first couple of years that the show was on, I would bump into people and I'd say, yeah, I've been doing the show. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I don't know it, or I haven't seen you, or whatever it was. And it wasn't until a few years in that people started yelling Kirk at me across the street, or I'd go to the mall and I'd hear Kirk. I was like, I think people are watching this show now.
Yeah.
But it took a little bit, but yeah, and then it just kind of steamrolled.
Well, so then you're involved in that, which I would consider Gilmore Girls a pop culture thing. And then you're in a very, very small independent film called Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Tiny.
Little indie.
Yeah. Not small budget.
Yeah, they put a Kickstarter together. And,
that's right.
Yeah.
And you had dual roles that people may not realize. You're Kraglin, and then you did the stop motion for Rocket.
Yeah, what I do.
The raccoon, everybody.
Yeah,
that's
right.
The movies, yeah.
That's right. I tapped into some of my theater school days and acting like an animal. But what I do is I play Rocket on set. So essentially, I'm there to help the other actors put the scene together, and then the visual effects team uses some of my movements, my hand and my hands and face, particularly when they're animating the character.
Is that we've seen now? We're so versed on behind the scenes stuff as just consumers. We've probably seen a video of actors like Lupita Nyong'o for Force Awakens with the dots all over their head. Is it a comfortable process?
Well, our process, every character is a little different, and our process for Rocket is a little less intrusive. I'm not wearing the dots all over my face. Fortunately, it's really just kind of me, and then they use my acting as reference. But we're getting used to it, and from doing 2 Guardians movies and then also doing 2 Avengers movies, actors are really learning how to deal with all of the visual effects that are just a necessary part of delivering a story these days.
I was hearing Paul Rudd on Howard Stern talk about how when he was talking about Endgame, he's like, oh, it's one thing to be on the set. He's like, because you're literally surrounded by nothing but green, and you're responding to a pumpkin that's painted green, and it's supposed to be an enemy. He's like, so really, even though you're in the movie, the first time you actually see the movie is when we do. What is that experience like for you to be like, okay, I'm performing Rocket with dots on my head, but then, that's how they bring it to life.
Yeah, that's the most fun thing about going to the premieres of those movies, is that there's so much that I haven't actually seen yet that I get to watch for the first time when we do those movies. But I gotta say though, it's a testament to how great the directors are. My brother James for Guardians and the Russo brothers for the Avengers movies. They do such a good job of painting the picture for the actors so that we know when we get to set what we're stepping into and what the sort of vision for each scene looks like.
Yeah, and if you missed the reference, if you're not just a diehard nerd like me, Sean's brother James is the great James Gunn who directed Guardians of the Galaxy. Sean's sticking around more when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. With Gopher Pass.
I wanted you to be one of the first to know that I've started a new business. It's a rideshare business. I call it Uber.
Oh, there's already an Uber, Kirk.
No, not Uber. Uber. 3 O's instead of a U.
Okay, but it's...
Uber.
Right, but it's this...
Uber. It's a service where people can request a ride and I will come and pick them up.
Like Uber.
Except it's Uber.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Kirk, people use an app to call a car.
I have no app.
How did they get a car?
They call my mother and then she calls me and I find a car and I pick them right up.
So it's a much worse version of Uber.
And it's pronounced Uber.
Stop making that sound.
All right, well...
So good. Uber. That's our special guest today, Sean Gunn, playing the iconic character Kirk on the hit show Gilmore Girls. Uber.
Yeah.
We were talking during the break, and this kind of surprised me. When you're in a grocery store, when you're walking down the street, between Guardians, and we're going to talk about Suicide Squad too, Suicide and Gilmore, what do you get asked about the most still?
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I do.
What do you think it is about that show? Is it the writing? Is it the cast? Right time, right place?
I think there's something about the town of Stars Hollow where the show is set that people kind of wish they could live in a world that felt so simple and where, your neighbors really felt like a community. I think people miss that more than ever, and that's what they respond to the most.
I think you're right. A communal experience. So we talked about Guardians and Gilmore, and then also, if that's not enough, you're also in Suicide Squad. And now, right there, we're looking on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, yeah. You guys are filming part 2 now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't you just in New Zealand?
I was in New Zealand for a convention, and before that I was in Atlanta doing Suicide Squad, and it's, of course, it's the nature of the business now where, unfortunately, I can say that I was working on Suicide Squad and absolutely nothing else about the project.
Exactly. And believe me, audience, I know better. I can't ask anything because,
yeah. It's going to be awesome, though. I can say that. It was really, really great.
Is that... Let me see if, and I'm not doing trickery because I respect, but let me see if I can ask you this. Do they give you, is it true, do they only give you like your pages of script and that's it?
Fortunately on Suicide Squad I was able to read the whole thing, but that happens. That was certainly my experience with the Avengers movies, so that does happen from time to time.
You only get the pages that you're in?
Yes.
And then they immediately take it from you?
Yeah. Yeah, although, to be fair, the directors will usually answer any questions you have about what's going on.
That's so.
It can be weird, yeah.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
So do people bother you in your real life, like your real family and friends? Do they know, or do they, like, if you're having a cocktail or something, and they're like, "Hey, just tell me what happens in Act 2."
That's what I have to be careful of, particularly if I'm on the road, and doing conventions like what I'm doing this weekend. I can't have one or two too many cocktails in the bar.
That's right.
Somebody might pry some information loose that I...
And the next thing you know, it's on Twitter.
Right.
It's on Twitter. So you said you were doing a convention in New Zealand and now
yes.
GalaxyCon. 25,000 people. Is that overwhelming?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's very cool. It's like I love... It's the best thing about going and coming to cities like Minneapolis and doing conventions. You just get all these fans who are so... who are so into their particular fandom, and people love the stuff that they love, and to be able to meet those fans one-on-one and get feedback from them and hear from them, it's really one of the coolest parts of my job.
Well, Well, we have devised a back way out of our building so you can avoid, because outside that door right there is 15,000 employees that want to meet you. So we're going to usher you through the back. Give it up for Sean Gunn, everybody. GalaxyCon this weekend at the Minneapolis Convention Center. For a list of who will be in attendance, head to minneapolis.galaxycon.com. Still ahead, everybody. How to shop at the thrift store. Lindsay from the Fashion Fix blog will join us with her tips when we return. Back after this. Thank you so much. Welcome back, my friends. Our next guest is the founder of The Fashion Fix, a blog that helps women of all shapes and sizes find confidence in their style. And today, she's taking us to the thrift store to help us find some fashionable hidden gems. Give it up for Lindsay, everybody. Welcome back, Linz.
Hi.
How you doing?
I am doing fabulous. I'm so excited about what we're talking about today.
I love it too because, am I wrong in saying thrift stores are like the thing now?
They've become like kind of a phenomenon in like trend and style and fashion, because what's neat about it is you can find one-of-a-kind pieces.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you're going to Target or like a department store where you're finding something, but then like so are like 15 other people that you're working with, you know, they're going to show up at the same time. So.
Okay, you have 5 tips for shopping at a thrift store. Number 1, shop by department.
Yeah, so I would say the number one, not complaint, but where people struggle with shopping thrift is they walk into the store and they feel so overwhelmed. They do not even know where to start.
It is overwhelming, yeah.
It is, because the stores are really big and you're not really sure how to navigate or how they have it organized. So I would shop by department, and by that I mean start with short sleeve to sleeveless tops, then go to long sleeve tops, then we're gonna go to layers, then we're gonna go to pants. So break the store up by section rather than walking in and feeling like, okay, you know, we need to, what do they say? But eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Yes.
You know, like you need to break it down into smaller pieces so you don't get lost.
Okay. Number 2, don't pay attention to labels.
Yes. So in the world of thrift, everybody's created equal.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're gonna walk into like a good,
girl. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Everyone's equal. When you walk into an Arc or a Goodwill or wherever you're at, you know, price points are not going to be determined by like how high end a label is. Like all T-shirts are going to be $3.99. Doesn't matter who makes them. So don't get wrapped up in that. I mean, it is really cool when you can find a hidden gem or a treasure, but don't pay attention to the labels. You're gonna wanna try on everyththing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I will say there is nothing like the joy of finding like a really shishi-poo-poo expensive, like a Louis Vuitton or a Burberry or something. Like in that rack, you feel like you've won the lottery.
Totally. So I do personal shopping appointments at thrift stores with my clients, and sometimes I'll find something and I know it's, you know, a brand that you would find at like a Nordstrom or something like that, and I'm like, I don't even care if this is their style. I'm putting it in the cart and they're trying it on. Like, just, you never know what's gonna work out. So you can find some lucky things, but as far as like, don't stress out by trying to find those kind of hidden treasures.
I love number 3, look for statement pieces.
Yes, so what's really fun, like we said in the beginning, when you're shopping thrift, is you're finding unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. So run with that. And honestly, you can find a basic tee for Target at $8, for $8. Like that's not something you need to be looking for at a thrift store. We wanna find some fun, what I call like bonus buy pieces that you're gonna add to your wardrobe that have a little bit more like personality, maybe have a little bit more trend, maybe it's a bold color or bold pattern, something like that that's going to feel really special when you find it.
Like these 3 examples right here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that gray dress was a faux suede dress. That was probably one of my all-time favorite things I found for a client thrift shopping.
All the way to the right.
Oh, all the way to the right. Oh my gosh, so cute. And like that's a faux leather jacket on the woman on the left. Like those kind of statement pieces that feel so fun to find at the store.
Soup's cute. Okay, and number 4, be open to different styles and details.
Yes, so my favorite thing that I hear when I have someone in the fitting room is through that closed door when they say, I would have never thought to try this on, but I love it. And I don't know what they have on yet. Yeah, you do. You kind of stick with like, you know, the same thing that you were over and over and over again. And that's when you stand in front of your closet and you feel like, oh, I'm just wearing the same thing all the time, or I don't feel like I have anything fun to wear. So when you're shopping thrift, be open to things that have different details, maybe different colors, different patterns than you would normally wear. So this client here, she would have never picked a pair of red pants to try on. Like that was like way outside her comfort zone, but we put them on her. Yes, they were so cute. They fit well. The woman on the right, the tie front top, like she maybe felt like that was a trend that was too young for her, or like it wouldn't fit her body shape well. But we put her, and she's like, "I love this top. It's so cute for spring and summer." She would have never thought to try it on. And the cold shoulder, that's another top. She said, "I would have never grabbed this for myself." But when we put it on, she's like, "I can wear this on a date night, and it's so fun."
And number 5, I'm wondering what I think I know what you mean. Go often.
Go often. So inventory changes all the time. So I take clients maybe like I have 2 or 3 different clients a week that I take shopping, and every time I go, I see something different. Within like a 24 to 48 hour time span, there's going to be new inventory on the racks.
Can I add a little asterisk to that? Can I add a piggyback on that? Because I've made the mistake, I call it the home goods. And that is, if you even think you like it, make sure you buy it.
Oh my gosh,
because
totally.
you will have regret. Because if you try to go back and get it, it's gone.
Oh,
it's
totally.
Gone. So get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
it's cheap. You can do that. Just
Well, and that's a fun thing. Even going back to like trying some new trends or trying new styles that maybe you wouldn't have picked up yourself, you're not paying an arm and a leg for that. You're paying $4. So if you're bringing it home and you're like, okay, like maybe this isn't working out as well as I thought in my wardrobe, it wasn't a huge investment. And then you can just donate it back and then go shopping again because there's going to be new things on the rack for you to look at.
You have a workshop coming up as well.
I have a workshop coming up. So I get asked all the time how to shop thrift. So I decided to put together an in-person workshop. I'm hosting it on November 23rd. You can get tickets on my website. There's only a few left. And I'll be going way more in-depth on how when I go shopping, I find anywhere between 60 and 70 pieces for my clients to try on.
Give it up for Lindsay, everybody. You can find Lindsay on Instagram at FashionFixMN or online at FashionFixMN.com. Tickets to her How to Shop Thrift workshop on November 23rd are available, as she said, on her website. This will be posted on our Facebook page a little bit later. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. Thank you. Knocked Kendall right. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we have a full audience today, but we can see you next week. Yes, I felt like the doctor will see you now. But anyway, we'd love to see you. If you would like tickets to our show, it's really easy. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, click that ticket tab. You're in by 9:15 and you're out by 11:15. You could win a mug. We tell you stories. Kendall dances sometimes. Like that. We'll be right back, everybody, to wrap things up. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. Kendall joins me again here on the couch. The great audience today. We love you. You guys are fantastic today. Especially, director, take a shot. Take Eric's camera here. This woman up here has been asking Aaron Schwab all hour long for a mug. I will give you a mug. I will give you a mug, yes. Of course. And ma'am, you can have this pumpkin too. That's right, yeah. You can have this pumpkin too, right here.
Not the small one.
Not this one. We're going to keep this, but you can take this one home, yeah. Hey, before we go, what's better? I mean, I love Oprah, and I love Tina Turner. How about them together? Look at this photo. This is last night at the opening of Tina, the new musical on Broadway. There is the legend herself in the middle, obviously. So there's Oprah, Tina, and Gail. And that is the opening. Yeah, I mean, I love Tina. I love, because I always say when people ask me, what's your favorite concert? What's your favorite movie? I will always say my favorite concert of all time is in 1996. It was the Tina Turner Golden Eye Tour. And it's my favorite story to tell about a concert because Tina at that point would have been in her 60s. Maybe had just turned 60.
Wait, how old is she now?
She's 80 plus, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
she's 80
No. But no, if you're impressed by that, listen to this. So in the Golden Eye Tour, the tour opens and the eye, because that's the theme to the James Bond movie.
Oh, yeah.
The James Bond eye opens and Tina comes down these stairs. She hits the bottom of the stairs, and one of my favorite moments in music, period, any concert, the 20-something backup dancers couldn't keep up with Tina. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Oh,
At
God.
60.
You know what I did while I was gone?
What?
I took all of my meds and I went to Celine Dion. And girl, I haven't recapped that for you, but
We need to talk about it. Let's do that
Yes.
Monday because,
Yes.
yeah, I wanted to know who went to that. So, anyway, thanks to this great audience on Monday. Wine diva Leslie Miller is back with the best wines to drink for Thanksgiving. Plus, actor-producer Tanner Anderson is here to talk about his new movie, That's Monday. But that's going to do it for us right now. If you're watching this show and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great weekend, everybody. Come see us next week. Get tickets on our Facebook page and follow us on social media. Just search for Jason Show TV. Bye, everybody.